Hey.
So, there's an album out that
Yes.
you guys released recently?
Yeah, it was released on Saturday. It was
Alright,
supposed to be released tomorrow, but
you couldn't wait.
yeah, we
So,
couldn't wait.
what's this album about for those who haven't gotten the chance to?
This album is about rebirth and continuation of Blood Red Throne. Yeah, and more specifically, it's about death metal.
Okay.
I think it's up to the individual listener because there's always people going to love it, always people going to hate it, and it doesn't matter too much for me because I already feel that it became more than we expected. I was actually not that happy about it when we finished it, but when
Okay, why is that?
I just felt like being in a band that doesn't practice and everything. Some stuff could have been more thought through, or for me, vocal-wise, it could have been organized better. But getting the final tape with proper sound and everything, then I'm glad we did it this way because there's a lot of impulsive and on the spot stuff because I never sang it at all before the mic was there in the studio, only in my head. So and most of the time with bears, then everything is pretty cool. You know, all of that stuff would have been taken away if it got more thought through, and I like the small, impulsive stuff.
What's your favorite song?
For me, the album is more of one piece, you know. I don't have any favorite songs. I've listened to it a lot, of course, because I really want to know it. So there's never been one song I put on. It's always from beginning to end. And I think that's a cool thing. There's no songs in it that are like just taking up space. I got a little impression of that because one song that Ivan made, Dødens Makt, the one with Norwegian lyrics, it was. We discussed that because, of course, I love the riffs and it's a cool song, but it was different from what Daniel did. So we struggled a little bit on how to make it fit in, but then also because it wasn't a typical death song for me, so it was really hard to do the death vocals. But when suddenly the Norwegian lyric came into my head, it was suddenly very different, and now I feel it's maybe one of my favorite songs actually of the album because it's so different from the rest of the songs. It has much more. I also tried to do more punk death vocals to it too because I didn't feel the deep roll were doing the song not justice but right. So maybe I actually like that song the best. It's very,
I'm glad I have to discover that.
Yeah, I've never written in Norwegian before, so it was different. Reviewers have been very nice to us. So far it's only been positive words. Of course, everybody talks about the missing members, but it looks like they're coping with the new lineup. So it's good.
How does it feel to play with the new members?
Well, for me, I'm the newest member, so for me it's.
Yeah, but how is the atmosphere in the band with everybody being so new?
I don't.
Do you guys get to rehearse?
No.
You don't rehearse at
No,
all?
we had of course the audition, That was the last time we rehearsed.
Okay.
So it's been, I don't know, 30, 35 shows so far. And we had 1 hour audition, which was the rehearsal. So we, since everybody lives in different cities, and also the drummer Emil lives in Sweden, so we don't see each other except for on stage and backstage.
How is it to work with him as a drummer?
It's very, very nice.
He's one of the most insane persons I've seen behind the drum kit.
Yeah.
How does he do it?
He practiced too much. He's just dedicated to the drums. He doesn't. Most of us we drink and have fun. He rehearses. So my first impression of him was, except for the audition, and we did one show in Stavanger. That was our first show. It was my birthday last year. But on tour, my first impression was the Neurotic Death Fest, and it was a so-and-so show because it was our first. We didn't have the chemistry wasn't there in all the ways it should be, and it became a little bit too much alcoholic. Also arriving to the venue like half an hour before we went on stage, so show could have gone better. But I just remember Emil was pretty pissed that he couldn't warm up before the show. So we did the show, and then we went down to see Behemoth and Cannibal Corpse, but he was stuck backstage.
Still playing?
Yeah, warming up after the show instead. So
cooling off?
Yeah, so that was my impression of him. Drums comes first. That's cool though. You always know that the rhythm section is complete, you know.
Yeah, you have very talented guitarists in the band.
Yeah, and they too, of course. Yeah, I think the biggest difference for me with Blood Red Throne compared to earlier bands is that I always feel very relaxed and comfortable and secure that I only have to think about my own stuff, because the rest of the band is a machine. It's correct. It's always what it should be. Yeah, so it leaves a lot of freedom to do more impulsive things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in that case, what's your biggest challenge on stage? Since
my biggest challenge. Well, it used to be just being drunk and managed not to make a fool of myself. But after a while, I noticed that wasn't going to happen anymore. So I quit drinking heavily before stage. So now there's no challenge.
Okay.
Yeah.
What inspires or who inspired you as
Me?
a singer?
Well, I
Metal
started off with
musician.
music from Elvis and Johnny Cash and that kind of stuff, but and then Devin Townsend has always been a big inspiration. But getting into death metal, it was first of all Chris Barnes that made me appreciate and understand death metal, and George Fisher too. Pretty standard, of course, but those guys are what they are, you know. So those two, Len Benton, Peter Tucken, it's my biggest inspiration on vocals.
Do you train your headbanging at all?
No, No, I'm a very dedicated musician, but I'm a very bad musician also because I used to play guitar, I used to play drums, but when I got into metal, I figured that this is going to need practice, which is not my thing. Yeah.
So how does your neck feel after a show?
One-off shows can be pretty hard because then you have a lot of energy and your neck is not prepared for it. So the next day is sometimes you need to hold it up. But on tour it's okay. I don't feel anything. It's but after banging for 8 years, I know why George got the neck he does. You know, I'm building up one of myself. So.
What's the coolest thing about death metal?
Coolest thing about death metal? The raw power and brutality which you cannot get from anything else, in my opinion. Unless you decide to actually become a killer or something, but that would.
So it's better to put it in music.
Yeah, I think being a killer and doing that kind of stuff would probably lead to some consequences, which you don't get from doing music.
Yeah, you get fans instead.
Yeah, instead of yes.
So what's the blood red throne brutality aimed at?
The world.
All of it?
Yeah.
There's nothing left of it.
No. It's only thing left standing should be metal.
Do you participate at all in the music writing process?
I do all the vocals, of course, and all the lyrics.
Okay. So then you should know.
Yeah.
Best
Everything written down is me. I would love to join in on the music, but yeah. But anyways, Daniel Död, he makes so great songs that I don't think.
To add.
Yeah, I don't think I have much to add. Anyways, and also him writing the music is what keeps the BRT sound similar to earlier, which is what we want. You know, we don't want to do anything new. Just developing the sound that we have and make it more, but not new. Yeah. Daniel writes the stuff, and like most band do, like most band does, he makes the drums, computer, everything, and sends it out, and people add their own twist to it. So there's a lot of course, the basic stuff from Daniel's drums to Emil's drums on the record is the basic stuff is pretty similar, but Emil does his own stuff on it. So yeah, it has the Emil touch. I only feel that the new lineup adds freshness to the band. It's not stuck in anything. It's new ideas, new approaches, new views on.
Yeah, that's the feeling I got live, that you guys feel fresh.
Yeah.
It wasn't a.
Well, it's a 15-year-old band with musicians who are 20 years old. You know.
Yeah. That's
Emil and Ole was 5 years old when they started. You know. So, of course, it adds to the spirits.
How did you end up in the band?
I saw on heavymetal.no that they needed a new vocalist, and I really wanted to find a death metal band instead of doing the music that I used to do, and I decided to be the new vocalist.
Were you nervous on the audition?
No. No, I listened. I found my 16 favorite songs of Blood Throne, and I just didn't listen to anything else for 4 or 5 months up until the audition. But yeah, so I was the first one in on audition, and they had 2 days full of vocalists. The bad thing was just sitting I was living at Ivan's house because I knew them from before. But the bad thing was just sitting there for from Friday first audition till Saturday night waiting for the yes. So that was pretty intense, but I wasn't nervous. No.
That's good. How's the future planned for the band? You have a lot of shows coming up.
Yeah, we got a headlining European tour now, starting on Sunday. We have the Steel Fest in Finland on Saturday, and we have 2 more festivals in June, and 4 headlining shows in UK in July, and I think there's 1 more show in September. But we want to do more, but it's getting harder and harder, of course, with work and family for everybody. So most guys have 5 weeks to take vacation from work, and that's it, you know. So you have to just prioritize. But we really want to go to North and South America, but there's so many aspects of that outside of the music, just money-wise, and being allowed to go into the States and everything. So we don't rush anything there, but we hope to do it next year and do a real good thing there.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
What's the best thing about touring?
I really like the isolation from everything else.
Really?
Just,
Is there isolation on the tour?
Yeah, from life.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the bus, the beer, the show, the fans. I like that. Every day is the same, and every day is also completely different. And just waking up in a new town every day, I like that feeling.
And what's the worst thing?
Worst thing?
The same?
Smell. Yeah, the smell.
I don't want to know.
Oh, but it's also, you miss the smell when the tour is done. That's when you don't have it in your nose. No, I don't know. Of course, I hate missing my kid, my girlfriend, everybody miss people back home. But you cope with that since you're always busy, you know. I think, just not. When you come to venues with not proper backstage, when you have to eat wet sandwich in a toilet, that's not cool. And when there's no shower, but
that's when the smell builds up.
yeah. But it's all good. I don't complain. It's all part of. It's all part of
metal
the
lifestyle.